Alexa from Pearl Physical Therapy. Today we're going to go through a warm-up, 3 groups of exercises, and then some stretching right at the end. So let's get started. First we're going to go through our warm-up. So we're going to start with just some high knees marching. We're going to go for 10 on each side. Good. And then we're going to go into our side stepping. So we're going to go left to right. I want you to do 10 each side, making sure to keep your abdominal muscles engaged. We're just trying to get those muscles warmed up around the hips. Good. And then we're going to move into some forward to backward motions. So we're going to move the arms like be walking, coming forward to backward. There's 3, 4, 5. Now switch so the other leg comes forward to backward. 1 more. Good. Now we're going to do our modified jumping jacks, so coming out to the sides. Again, we're just going for low impact today. If you want to go a little higher, a little bit more intensity, you can go into the full jumping jack as well. Up to you how you want to start. We're just getting the body warmed up though. Good. 2 more. And relax. And then we're going to go into one more thing, just a little squat and coming back up. Again, when we squat, our knees stay behind our toes. We drive up through the heels as we push up. Good. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So we got the body warmed up just a little bit. If you need more of a workout, you can go for a walk. You can repeat what we just did, or you can do any other type of warm-up that you usually like to do, okay? So we're going to get started with our exercises. Today we're going through a lot of different exercises, including bands. So what you need today is a stretchy band. I have a looped version, and I also have a longer version like a tube. If you just have one band, you can use it and tie it in a loop like this, and then you can have your band to untie to go around a stable post, okay? So we're going to get started. Our loop band will go around our ankles, and we're just going to go in a semicircular pattern here. So we're just going to do kind of a half circle forward to backward. So I'll show you from the front, we'll come forward, backward, and I'll show you from the side. We'll go forward and backward. This whole time you want to keep your abdominal muscles engaged. We're going to try for 5 each side. Good. 2 and 1. And then we'll switch. Make sure that the leg that you're standing on, you haven't locked out that knee. Engage those muscles surrounding the knee and the hip. Good. Now we're going to go back another 5 on the right. Good. And 5 on the left. Very good. Next up, you need a little mat or just something you can go on the ground as well. Okay, we're going to move that band up around our knees now, just right above the knees. We're going to go into a bridge. So there's a couple options for this. You can do a double leg bridge, meaning both legs stay on the ground, or you can do a single leg bridge where you go up and have one leg in the air. So we're going to lay on our backs, keeping the core tight, squeeze, pushing in through the heels, and we lift the hips up and slowly lower down. Lift up, lower down. For an added challenge, you can straighten out that leg, bring the hips up, and lower down. Make sure that your hips stay level here. We don't want the hip to drop, okay? We're going to do 10 total. If you're alternating, you can do 10 each leg, or you can do 5 each leg and then switch. So let's go through 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Next, we're gonna get a little workout for the arms, so I'll take this off of my ankles. And I have this around a stable post that's not gonna move. Make sure that you have something stable that will not move. My feet are about shoulder width apart, knees are slightly bent, abdominal muscles are engaged, and I'm back far enough so that when I pull back on the bands, I have a good amount of tension. So with this, I'm gonna squeeze back into a row and squeeze my shoulder blades together, almost like you're trying to hold a pencil here. So we're gonna go through 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. So that's our first set. Ideally, go through that 3 times in each set. So that's the half moon coming forward to backward like this. That's the bridges, and that's the row. We're gonna go through our next set of exercises just for the sake of time, and we'll go through with our band again. So with your looped band, we're gonna go around the ankles. And we're gonna go forward to backward. These are called monster walks, and there's a couple different versions. So in this set, we'll do a certain type of monster walk, and then the next one we'll do a different type of monster walk. So you'll go into a slight squat, again, making sure knees are behind the ankles. We don't want our knees coming in front of our toes, okay? So we'll be here, we're gonna step forward the whole time, making sure that you're engaging the muscles in your thighs as well as in your glutes, and then we'll go backwards. So ideally, if you can, do about 10 in each direction. I don't have a whole lot of space here, so I'm just gonna do however much I can towards the camera and back. Good, we'll go through one more set. And one more forward. Good. So next we're going to go into our another shoulder exercise. This one will be rotating the shoulder inward as well as outward. So again, with your band hooked around something stable, I'm going to bring one side closer to me, and that's just stationary there. My other side, the top arm, is the one that's moving, the one that's closer to the stationary spot for now for rotating inward. So I'm going to bring my arm in and out. As I do this, I shouldn't be feeling any discomfort anywhere. If I am feeling discomfort, I need to check my posture and make sure that I'm not rounded too far forward or I'm not too far back. If it continues to be uncomfortable, then stop and you can consult with your local physical therapist at Pro PT. So we'll go through about 10 on each side. I haven't been counting here. So we're gonna switch, and I'll just show you the rotation outward for the left arm so that I'm not having my back to you. So the opposite will stabilize now with my right arm. My left is going to come outward and back in. With this, it's really easy to compensate using other muscles surrounding your shoulder, not necessarily your rotator cuff. So we want to make sure that we're not irritating the biceps, which can often show up as pain in the front of the shoulder. Let's go through 3 more. And then we're going to relax. So ideally do that on both arms. Again, I just don't want to have my back to you, so we'll stay with that one for now. Next, we're going to go into a side plank. So with this, you can do a modified, or you can do one version where you're on the elbow and on the knees and coming up here and hold, trying to engage the muscles in the obliques. If this is too easy for you, the next option is bringing the legs all the way out and coming to here. Again, if that's too easy, bring the top leg up and lower back down. If this bothers your knees, having the feet all the way out, you can stay on the knees like this as well, and then try bringing the leg out and back up and down here. And if that's too easy, remember that looped band you had, you can put that around the lower legs. Again, come up into your plank, and now you have some added resistance as you come up. So for that one, you want to go through about 10 on each side, or until your muscles start to fatigue. So that is our 3 exercises for our second set. So we had our monster walks coming forward and backward. We had our rotation for the arm coming in and out. Again, do each arm. And then we had the side plank with bringing the leg up and down if you want that added challenge. So our third set of exercises is going to begin with laying on your back. So you can remove that band that you had stationary here. It's going to be wrapped around behind you like this, and then you're going to lay down on it. So I'll have this underneath me. My arms will be by my sides, and this is a small motion called protraction, or where the shoulder blades are going to be moving apart. So we'll come here, push up, and lower back down. If the resistance isn't quite where you want it, you can always alternate and hold one side up with a little more tension here, and then go one at a time here. It's just a small motion of that little push up towards the ceiling or sky. Again, go through about 10 to 15 or until you are fatigued, and we're going to try for 3 sets of this whole group of exercises. Next up, we've got our band again. This time our monster walks are going to be side to side. So I'll show you from the front and then from the side view. Feet about shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent. We're going to go to our side, just a little step out, little step in. So I'm not bringing one leg out and then all the way together. It's just a small motion coming out and to the side, and then we'll go back. So you again can do 10 to 15 on each side in a row. That way you get those muscles fatigued a little bit more, a little bit sooner. I'll show you from the side again. Knees are slightly bent, hips are back, core is engaged as I come to the side and back. Okay, so our next one, or I should say our last one for this set of exercises, is going to be in a tall plank. So we'll have the band around our wrists like this. If you have 2, you can put one around your ankles and one around your wrists. I only have one, so I'm just going to use the one. I'll go into my plank and I want to engage my shoulder muscles as I bring the arms apart. That'll get all those muscles working nice and hard there. Now, maintaining this tall plank position, I'm going to step my arm out, then my leg out, step my arm in, leg in. So you're going to go one at a time, alternating there. So leg out, leg in, arm in. Leg out, leg in, arm in. If you want a little bit extra challenge here, you can do both at once, where you have to stabilize and bring the arm and the leg out at once. But I would recommend starting with just one at a time. If coming up onto that full plank of being on the arms and the feet like this is too challenging, you can go on your knees and still get a workout in with the shoulders with that band around your wrists coming out and in, out and in. So again, with that one, you want to go until a point where your muscles fatigue, most likely around 10 to 15, because we'll be going through 3 sets of each of these 3 exercises. So the last thing I wanted to show you with our bands is for the ankles. So you can use either your long band like this, or you can use your looped band. It's up to you. I'll show you with the long band. Alright, so you'll be in a seated position. You'll bring the band around your foot, just around the ball of your foot. Do be careful if you have one that is more of a tube, as that will more likely to roll. So as you do this, you're going to point and flex your foot. As you can see, mine's rolling, so that's something that with sneakers on might be a little more challenging. So as the foot comes up and down, almost like you're pressing down on a gas pedal. Okay? Another option is with your looped band. With those that are a little flatter, it might be a little easier to get more of that downward motion. So with your band, you'll want to come across next so that one foot's over the other, and then I'm going to bring my foot out to the side against that resistance. This is going to work on strengthening some muscles on the side of the lower leg here that help with stabilizing the ankle. You want to go through about 15 repetitions to the side there. Again, if anything starts to hurt, stop and then reassess what your form is looking like. Okay. Next, I'll move my band over to the opposite side here and cross my leg to give some resistance, and then I can come inward with my foot. Now I'm working some of the muscles on the inner part of the lower leg. Again, go through about 15 here. And then if you're able to have either a family member hold the opposite side here, or you can anchor it to something nearby, and then you'll have that to go against to bring the foot up against that resistance. Again, 10 to 15 repetitions or until the muscles start to fatigue. Okay, so last up I wanted to show you a couple stretches to go through surrounding the lower legs that are often pretty tight in people. So first off, I'm going to show you a flexor stretch for the front of the hip. So I'll show you from the side. You'll bring one leg back. I'll let my back leg bend, come down into a lunge, and then tuck my pelvis underneath me. When I do that, I can raise that arm as well and get even more of a stretch, not only through the hip flexor, but all through my trunk on this side. You can hold on to something for balance as well, and if that position's uncomfortable, you can also put a chair behind your leg instead, similar to the stretch where you would hold one ankle like this. Instead, you have your foot on a chair here, holding on to something stable here, and then you can go down into that same position, just this time the foot's up. That'll stretch the front of the thigh as well as the front of the hip up here. Next, I want to show you one for the posterior hip. So I'll show you from the side here. With your legs out long, you'll cross one leg over the other, then taking your hands towards whichever leg is up on the outside, holding here and rotating. So you want to push that hip a little bit to the side, and you should feel a stretch in the back side of the hip here. Holding each stretch for about 20 to 30 seconds. And then the last two stretches I wanted to show you. One is the hamstring, so you can come to the side, bringing one leg out in front, and then flexing at the hips to be able to get a stretch through the back of the leg here. Again, just go to a point where you feel a stretch, not into pain. Holding for 30 seconds. And our last one is going to be for the calf muscle or the back of the lower leg. So I like to use a stationary post in front of me, or you can use a step or a curb, anything that's stable. Bring your foot up so that the toes are up in the air, and then I'll come into my stretch by coming towards whatever that object is that my foot's against, and I should be feeling a stretch in the back of my calf. Holding that for 20 to 30 seconds and making sure that you do a great job hydrating at the end of your workout. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.